Okay, and today, for an absolute treat, we are making the specialty de la maison here at Chateau Dweezel, which is Dweezel Goo, type 1. I cooked this for my wife the first night that she came down here from Canada, and she said it was very good, and I was never allowed in the kitchen after that. So this is it's an absolute heresy. What seemed to horrify her the most was the fact that I cooked everything in one pot, you know, so, which is, I mean, that's what I happen to have at the time. Anyway, the way that this all starts is you fry up a nice pound of ground beef there, okay? You may wish to, like, get some, you know, special ground beef. I use whatever's cheap. And into this, we place an onion, chopped up fine. And we let that simmer for a little bit. And you want to go ahead and drain all your fat off your ground beef before you do this, otherwise it's kind of goopy. But okay. While you're doing this, okay, you have time to make a package of instant mashed potatoes, which are going to be like, you know, essential to the mix here. So, we have ground beef, we have onion. We're going to take and we're going to put a small can of mushrooms. A small can of corn. We're going to let that percolate for a little while. Now this is the kind of stuff here, okay, that can go into your freezer in your little handy dandy plastic freezer bowl. And keep good forever, okay. You can stick it in the microwave, you know, and you can make a lot of it at one time, and that way you've got, like, you know, dinner if you're going to work. You got dinner for the week, you know, in one fell swoop here. And the thing is, it doesn't cost a lot, you know. I don't think I've got 10 bucks invested here. And you can eat on this for a week. So far, I don't know what's the matter with Canadians. I mean, apparently they don't do this, you know, because this is like classic American bachelor cuisine. Of course, there's a lot of things I don't get about Canadians, you know. I've never quite figured out, you know, I've seen a fight one time in a hockey game, and I've never quite figured out. Americans obviously are different because, you know, if I've got on heavy gloves and I'm carrying a big stick and I'm wearing a helmet, I kind of think I'm ready for the party. You know, I'm going to play the hand I'm dealt. Canadians, I mean, they don't talk smack or anything else. It's just like somebody throws a switch and it's on. And the first thing they do is they throw them gloves down and they throw away the stick and they take off the helmet, you know, and now they're ready. I totally don't understand this because this is like, you know, but, and the crowd boos them if they don't do this. This is the amazing thing, you know, if they keep their helmet or their stick or any other kind of sensible conflictionary precaution, the crowd is unhappy with them. It's also the reason why there's no Canadian pornography, because, you know, in my experience, Canadian girls, the way that it works is just that same way, okay? You know, they don't say much, they just quietly sit and watch you for a while, and then when it's on, you know, and stuff starts going down, and you better be ready, because you're going to get hurt just as bad as that hockey fight, I can promise you. Anyway, Yeah, they don't have porn either because, you know, it was explained to me that when Canadian people have a chance to have sex, nobody wants to hold the camera. Everybody's like, you know, there's a people pile, they're getting in it. Nobody wants to be standing around taking pictures. This is why you get French porn and German porn and Brazilian porn. There's categories for all this, you know. You can't find any Canadian porn. They just mean business when they go. It's very misunderstood folks, man. I'm telling you, from my experience, they are a clean and vigorous people, and boy, you know, we sort of think of them as kind of America light or something, and they're really not. You know, they got their whole own thing going on up there, and I mean, their girls, you know, you don't hear much about Canadian girls, but this is somebody who goes out, you know, and walks her little dog with a can of bear mace under her arm, okay? And the bears don't screw with them. I mean, it's just like that. But I digress. Dweezel Goo. Okay. Ground beef, corn, mushrooms, onion, all in the same pan. We are at this point going to take our mashed potatoes and add them to this glorious mixture. Making sure to get all the instant potato goodness here. Okay, and we now take and mix our goo together here. We fold the potatoes in there good. This is kind of like a meal all in one bucket, man. You got your veggies, your meat, your potatoes. You know. And if you're like me and your teeth are spread all over a nameless ass place in North Africa, this stuff is really great. I always wondered what happened to those teeth. I like to think that some heathen's wearing them for a necklace, and it wasn't a circumstance where we could stop and pick them up, but yeah, man does like to leave something behind. Put a little of yourself in the conflict. Okay. This is now taking on the uniform gray consistency that my wife is so very fond of. Get your bits and pieces back in there. Okay, and for the final touch, get your bag o' cheese. Okay, bag o' cheese can be found almost anywhere. This particular kind is shredded Colby and Monterey Jack. But bag o' cheeses come in many different types. You can experiment around and figure out which is your favorite. And we put in the bag o' cheese. And we continue to percolate here. Now, I'm not exactly certain what it is Josephine has against this meal here, because this is like, she's informed me that this isn't really food at all, but I don't know. We ain't doing the Hannibal thing down here. I mean, this is like, nobody here is a gourmet chef. We're just doing the best we can with what we got. If you're an old redneck living on your own, this stuff will save your life. Now I suppose, that you could like put this on toast or serve it over some noodles. I just like to eat it plain. And you can put you some ketchup or hot sauce or whatever it is you like on it. But this is see, people tend to forget that, for most of our history and all of our prehistory, people tended to eat, either whatever was growing locally or whatever they could sneak up on. And consequently, they used to find themselves eating pretty much the same thing a lot of the time, if not every day. And these some red pepper flakes. I'm going to put a little red in here for Canada. And so, people always want to talk about, well, you got to have a balanced diet, you got to eat something different every day. And you think, well, historically, that is unsupportable. I'm fairly certain it is scripturally unsupportable as well. It probably says in Leviticus somewhere that this stuff is good for you. When you got a quote from the book, always quote from Leviticus, because that's the part nobody reads anyway. Okay, now I'm going to let this simmer here for a little while. And then I will portion it out into my handy plastic containers of freezing. And this should give me 5 or 6 nights of chow here. I can feel the waves of fury radiating from the north here, so I'm going to sign off. But ladies and gentlemen, Dweezel Goo, you saw it here first. Don't worry, Josie, Indiana's holding.